toutes et à tous.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon to you all. I'm going to start with a very quick introduction, une présentation très rapide du jury. On va commencer tout au bout
So
de la
we'll start
table
right at
avec
the far end of the
l'écrivaine
table with the
franco-marocaine
Franco-Moroccan
Leila
writer Leila
Slimani, le
Slimani,
réalisateur mexicain
the
Carlos
Mexican
Regadas,
director Carlos Regadas,
l'actrice et réalisatrice
the actress and
américaine Halle Berry,
director from the US,
le
Halle Berry,
réalisateur coréen Hong
the
Sang-soo.
Korean
On va
director
revenir
Hong
ici
Sang-soo. Then we'll go to
avec
the
à
other
mes
side
côtés
of the
la
table.
réalisatrice
Next
et
to me,
scénariste
we
indienne
have
Payal Kapadia,
Payal Kapadia,
l'acteur
who's
américain
director and
Jeremy
scriptwriter,
Strong,
Jeremy Strong, the
l'actrice
American
italienne
actor,
Alba
the Italian
Rohrwacher,
actress Alba
le
Rohrwacher,
réalisateur congolais
the
Judo
Congolese
Hamadi
director
et Madame
Judo
la présidente
Hamadi, and
Juliette
the
Binoche.
president Juliette Binoche.
All right, before I open the floor, avant de vous laisser la parole, je vais juste vous poser une petite
I'd
question à
like to
chacun
get the
d'entre
ball
vous, une
rolling
question
and
très
ask
facile.
each of you a very easy
Qu'est-ce que
question.
ça veut dire pour vous
What
de faire
does
partie
it
du
mean
jury
for
du
you to be
78e
part of the jury of the
Festival de Cannes?
78th
Just before I open
Cannes
the
Film
floor to
Festival?
questioning, a question for all of you. What does that mean to be a member of the jury this year? Let's start with you, Leila.
Bonjour à tous.
Good afternoon,
Ça veut
everybody.
dire faire partie
For
d'une
me,
immense
it
aventure
means embarking
humaine,
on a wonderful human adventure
de rencontres et
focused on the cinema
vivre des grands
and
coups de
be
foudre
able
artistiques.
to fall in love with artistic productions.
I am grateful to be here, and I'm looking forward to sharing our experiences with these films with all my colleagues.
This is a huge honor to be asked to be a part of this jury. This is one of the biggest film festivals in the world, and as we talked about in our jury meeting, you know, careers are made in this festival, and so I take it as a real honor to be here and share this experience with these wonderful jurors.
Monsieur Hong Sang-soo.
I thought about it and I don't know why I'm here. Anyway, I couldn't come last time. The Thierry invited me for the film I made, and so I'm happy that I can be here this time. And
Payal, on va terminer avec vous. Payal.
It's really a privilege to watch the films that are going to be in competition. It's like you get to see the best of world cinema for the very first time. So, and also being a cinephile for me, I'm just so excited.
Yeah, really echo everything everyone has said. It's such an honor and a privilege, and it's thrilling, and it feels like an opportunity to be part of a great procession of cinema history.
C'est un grand honneur,
It's a great honor and a huge responsibility at the same time.
Une grande joie
It's
d'être là
a great
avec
joy
mon
to be
compagnon,
here with all my
qui sont des
colleagues
artistes
who
que j'aime beaucoup,
are artists
et
who
partager
I
ça
appreciate
avec,
greatly.
eux,
And
c'est
sharing all
vraiment
this with them
incroyable.
is quite amazing.
Pareil,
Same
bonjour à
for
tous.
me.
Je pense que
Good
c'est
afternoon, everybody.
c'est un immense
I think it is
privilège
an immense
de
privilege
se retrouver dans ces cadres
to be
et,
here
de parler, de discuter de films,
and
de
to
meilleurs
talk
films de l'année, dans
about
ce cadre, dans
the best
le meilleur
films of the
festival du
year in
monde.
this wonderful
C'est un immense
place, the greatest festival around the world.
Bonsoir.
Good
Bonjour.
evening, or good afternoon, rather.
C'est une grande surprise.
It's a
d'être
great surprise to be here.
là. Et hier soir dans mon lit,
Yesterday
je me disais,
evening,
mais
when I got
qu'est-ce
into
que je fais
bed,
là?
I thought, what am I
Et
doing
à la
here?
fois, c'est un accomplissement.
It's
parce que ça fait
a
40
sort of
ans
an
que j'ai
achievement
monté les marches
because
avec, le film
40
d'André
years
Téchiné,
ago,
donc,
I
je
walked
ressens
the
à la
red
fois
carpet with a film by André Téchiné.
un
And
immense désir,
I
désir de voir ces films, désir de
want
partager.
to see the films. I want to share them. It's a very strong desire.
Et c'est vrai qu'il y a une
Share them
gratitude
with other members of the
immense,
jury. And I feel great
de la vie,
gratitude
des
I feel
personnes qui font
thankful,
cette vie, la vie du cinéma au
to
festival.
everybody, to people who have put together this festival. I feel very grateful indeed.
On va commencer par Monsieur.
Over to you.
Good afternoon, Marco Consoli from Italy, La Stampa Daily. In recent years, Cannes Film Festival has made huge strides in affirming women both as directors and as jury presidents, also thanks to MeToo movement. I want to ask Juliette Binoche, what do you think of the results achieved? And if you consider today's conviction of an icon like Gérard Depardieu as a result of this movement and a sign of change that perhaps a few years ago would have not been possible. Thank you.
J'ai pas tout compris, moi.
Alors, depuis plusieurs années, le Festival de Cannes a fait énormément
So,
pour la présence de
for
femmes
a number of
réalisatrices et de femmes
years,
dans le jury.
the
Est-ce que
Cannes
vous
Film
pensez
Festival
que,
has tried to boost the presence of women in the jury and in terms of films.
Le fait qu'on tous les progrès qui ont été faits là-dessus.
Great progress has been made on this score. Second part of the question, what about the sentencing of Gérard Depardieu?
Oui, le festival le suit un
Indeed,
mouvement.
the festival
Le mouvement de
is
la vie
following
sociale,
this
politique,
trend in social
des
and political
changements,
life.
qui se passent
There
dans
have
le
been
monde
great
et
changes occurring
parfois il
in
est
the world.
précurseur et parfois il suit.
Sometimes
Ça dépend
it follows the trend, sometimes it spearheads it. It depends on the area. I think that the festival is increasingly in step with what's happening today. Our MeToo wave and took some while to gain strength.
On a réagi très fortement
We reacted
dernièrement.
very strongly recently.
Voilà. Et sinon, par rapport
Otherwise,
à l'acteur Gérard
when it
Depardieu,
comes to Gérard Depardieu, what exactly was your question?
What was the question exactly on Depardieu?
This is the result of the MeToo movement, something that a few years ago would have not been sorry. If what's happened today is the result of the movement in recent years, and it would have not been possible a few years ago.
Of course, yeah, absolument.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
Hello, thank you. Hello, Holly. I'm Chaz Ebert from RogerEbert.com, and you won the top prize, the Oscar, for your film Monsters Ball. Do you have any preparation for judging films on an international level, and what are your expectations here at Cannes?
My expectations are to be a part of this jury and get to know all of these wonderful people that have, are part of this experience. And I expect to see wonderful film. And, is there any preparation? No, I don't think there's any preparation. And I think just being in film for 30 years, I do think I have a unique perspective. We all do. We all have a unique perspective when we watch film. No one person owns the truth. All we will be able to do, the 9 of us, is to give our own individual perspectives on all the movies that we're going to see. And I look forward to hearing what everybody else has to say. That's the beauty that makes us human, is that we're all different and we all see things from our different cultural backgrounds, our family of origin, our age, our gender. And so I'm looking forward to the conversations and really seeing what brings us together, but also sometimes those things that separate us, because that's also beautiful.
Over there.
Hi, good morning. It's here on the right-hand side for you. Good morning, Maria Guerra, Quinótico, Spain. Well, this is a question about Trump's tariffs. There is in the air the sense of silence, of fear. The question is for Madame Binoche. What is at stake here with these threats? Because this is not only about money. So as a president of the jury and as a president of the European Academy, what do you think is at stake with this threat for the film international community? Thank you.
Well, I'm not sure I'm capable to answer that, because it requires an analysis of the industry of cinema in the world. And I understand President Trump is trying to protect, and we understood that from the beginning. He was trying to protect his country, but for us, we have a very strong community of filming on our continent in Europe. So I don't know what to say really about that. I think that we can see that he's fighting and he's trying in many different ways to save America and save his ass.
We had a question over there, lady.
Bonjour, Florencia Ángeles from the Blue Radio in Colombia. La question pour Madame Binoche. Merci pour cette question. J'aimerais savoir, il y a des critiques d'une grande actrice, Juliette Binoche, à propos de Cannes, que ce n'était pas le Cannes d'avant, que les films, même les films sont déjà peu répandus. Et qu'est-ce que vous pensez à propos de vous? Vous êtes une présence quotidienne, on va dire, ici à Cannes.
You have come to
Donc, qu'est-ce que vous
Cannes
pensez
for
de
many,
Cannes
many
d'avant
years
et de
now.
Cannes
And
de
what do you
maintenant?
think of Cannes in the
Et si vous
past
partagez
compared
cette
with Cannes nowadays?
maybe for a question, the same question for Halberry. What do you think is your second time here in Cannes? And how do you feel to be here today? Thank you so much.
Do you want to start?
I feel fantastic to be here today, and this is my second time. I was here many, many years ago with the film X-Men. However, this capacity is very, very different and very, very special, and I'm honored to be back. I come all the time for Cannes Lions. I'm now an entrepreneur and have a company, so I do come to Cannes, you know, to the south of France every year for the past 4 years, but this is my first time back at the festival in a very long time, and I'm very excited to be here.
About the past and now, I think there's still the same kind of excitement. More and more people are coming here to watch films and journalists, so it's always been a place of engouement, as we say in French. A lot of need to see artists' artistry and skills, and so it's still very vivid and needed. The world is going into places that are very dangerous, and so the more we're going close to those spaces of danger, the more we need art in order to survive and have a view that gives us hope and connection between each other.
Rodrigo?
Yeah. Hi, question here from Brazil, Rodrigo Fonseca from Correio da Manhã. Mr. Regadas, you were here in 2012 with amazing post-Tenebras looks. I would like if you could say a few words of the importance of Cannes to the Latin American cinema. How your prize here were important for the career of that movie, and how the festival is important for our continent to be more known worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. What can I say? What I care about is how is it that some humans can interpret in an artistic way what living feels like. Not what it is, not a rational definition of what experiencing life is, but how is it that in particular moments we can feel life in a work, let's say in a work of art, but in any kind of human any kind of object created by humans. And of course, I don't tend to think in this kind of, national level or regional or group level. It's just humans always. But of course, I'm happy that there's filmmakers from our areas that are always proposing interesting things. I think we should take more risks, always innovate more, think more about what we do, think more about cinema, think about art deeply. And this is what will always be attractive to me. It doesn't matter in the end where the things come from, as long as they are meaningful for our experience of life. So that's more or less what I feel. And I'm very grateful. I have been here a few times, and I've always felt very welcomed. And I know my films are not probably majoritarianly, they're not widely distributed, whatever. But there's people that love them deeply, and that really is more than enough. Thank you.
Gentleman with the white hat, Monsieur à la casquette blanche.
Niels Jakob Gylliansen, filmmagasinet Echo. Last year we were supposed to have a Cannes without any political talk. Today we've had the publication of an open letter with hundreds of signatories, prominent people in the film industry, calling out the industry at large for its passivity regarding the Gaza conflict. So for the jury, for whoever wants to pick it up, what do you consider to be the role and responsibility of a festival like Cannes in tackling current political issues?
Qui veut prendre celle-là?
Who would like to take that question?
Who wants to answer? I can answer, but I'm not sure very interested.
Moi, je veux bien.
I'll take the question. I think the role of the festival, well, I think you already have the answer to your question. The role of the festival is to highlight artists and stories and characters, to show human life in what is most horrible and most beautiful. Talk about these contradictions that all inhabit us. Yes, there are many monstrous things in human life, but life goes on. You wake up in the morning, you get dressed, you take your children to school, you laugh, even when part of the world is plunged in darkness. And I think this is what we must do. We must defend beauty, poetry, artists, and the will to live.
Hi, Jada Yuan from the Washington Post, and I'm sorry I'm following up that question with my question. Ms. Binoche and Halle Berry, you spoke about going on the red carpet. The Cannes dress code has been controversial at times, particularly around women wearing heels or not wearing heels. And yesterday, the festival codified a couple new rules, which is no nudity and no voluminous dresses with long trains. And I'm just wondering how you feel about the new rules. Are they restrictive? Are they great? And does it affect anything about what you plan to wear for anyone on the panel?
On the heels side, I think it's a very good idea. By experience.
Yes. But I had an amazing dress by Gupta to wear tonight, and I cannot wear because the train is too big. So of course, I'm going to follow the rules. So I had to make a pivot. But the nudity part, I do think, is probably also a good rule.
Anybody else on that? We are. Au fond là-bas.
Hi, I'm Lina Bassi. My question to Juliette Binoche. A president is not a king, as some might like to believe, but rather the captain who sets the course. And what is the most important to you in choosing the direction? What values or instinct will guide your leadership? Thank you.
I think I will discover as we're going, because there's, between us, there's going to be a way of listening to each other, a way of talking to each other. So I think it's us that's going to make this gathering happen and be special. I think what I felt from last night when we met, that there was a lot of love already, a lot of need to be together for this journey, which is not an easy one, because I heard many films are great. But I think we'll be responsible to each of us to listen to each other and find ways to make the best palmarès.
Gentleman, the first word.
Good afternoon. Elina Khle from Saudi TV Cinematic Show. My question for Halle. You've been twice to Saudi Arabia. Once of them, it was in Red Sea Film Festival. I don't know if you met some Saudi talents. My question is, what do you think about the movies coming from the Middle East region? And which characters attract your attention or catch your attention?
I can't really speak that widely about movies coming from the Middle East. I can say this, that I went there recently and it's changed. It's very much different from the very first time I went there. And so what I do know about the Middle East is that the film is changing. Women are having more of a voice. And that wildly excites me, being from America. I love seeing women find their strength and find their power. And great filmmakers are going to be coming out of Saudi, and that makes me really happy. That's what I can say. Out of Saudi? I just said I can't really talk about Saudi film, really, and I'm sorry for that, but what catches my attention about Saudi every time I've been there, which I just said, is that I look forward to seeing more work coming out of there, especially from a female point of view. That's sort of where I'm at in life. I love seeing that women and women of color are finally being able to tell stories from our point of view. And when that starts to happen in a big way from Saudi, I'll be their biggest cheerleader.
Okay, we got a question over there.
Hi, one more from Miss Barry. It's Matt Donnelly from Variety. Congratulations. Earlier this year, Amazon sort of shocked the world by taking full creative control of James Bond. I know you came very close to doing a spin-off film for your character Jinx. So now that this entire universe is being opened back up, would you be open to returning, or would you like a crack at 007 yourself?
I don't know if 007 really should be a woman. I mean, you know, in 2025, it's nice to say, oh, she should be a woman, but I don't really know if I think that's the right thing to do. And no, I doubt there'll be a Jinx spinoff. There was a time that could have happened, probably should have happened. I would have loved for that to happen. But I think that time has passed.
Yeah. Le monsieur avec la casquette.
Hello. It's Yannis Rauzos from myfilm.gr in Greece. Thank you for having you all here. I had the opportunity to watch in many, many films, all over many festivals in the past. I have a question about Juliette Binoche. In such turbulence of times in art and in the general political and geopolitical environment of all the world, how much difficult can be for you to choose, let's say, as a president also of a jury in such a huge cinema festival, such a huge film festival, films that try to discover all these different aspects of life at the moment and the aesthetic approaches of that. And also, Mr. Strong, yes, last year you have been here participating in a film that you playing the maker of somebody who is now the President of the United States, somehow represent. Would you like to speak now as a part of a jury? What would you say for, let's say, the current situation in art and the political environment 1 year after your acting as this role member? Thank you.
I couldn't be here with the film last year. I was doing a play in New York, but I think the play, The Apprentice, the film that you're referencing, really underlines the stakes that we were talking about a few minutes ago. Roy Cohn, I see essentially as the progenitor of fake news and alternative facts. And we're living in the aftermath of what I think he created. I think that this time where truth is under assault, where truth is becoming an increasingly endangered thing, that the role of stories, of cinema, of art, but here specifically at this temple of film, the role of film is increasingly critical because it can combat those forces and the entropy of truth, and it can communicate truths, individual truths, human truths, societal truths, and affirm and celebrate our shared humanity. So I would say that what I'm here doing this year is, in a way, a counterbalance to what Roy Cohn was doing last year.
Vous voulez répondre sur la question sur
Would you
la
like
difficulté de
to answer
choisir
the
dans un monde aussi
question
turbulent?
about how difficult it is to make choices in such a turbulent world?
We choose with who we are and who we are not, and so there's always a surprise what's going to, trigger in you when you watch a film. I think for me, the key is to not anticipate whether you're going to love it or not, or feel, the necessity of fighting for it. So it's very hard to answer that. I think there's no real answer. It's in the moment, in the present, when you're watching a film. And also, we all together. And hopefully, we'll watch the films together. And after that, there's connection that is beyond thinking, and that will make, a special result as a penlight. So we'll see.
We got a question over there On the other side. Merci beaucoup.
Oui, bonjour, Julia Buruta pour la radio publique allemande. Je voudrais,
German
Juliette
Public
Binoche,
Radio.
revenir à la première
Juliette Binoche, I'd like to go
question,
back to the
Gérard
first question
Depardieu.
about Gérard Depardieu.
Qu'est-ce que cela signifie,
What does
cela devrait signifier
what
pour le
should this
cinéma,
mean for
quand
the
même
cinema?
Monstre sacré, comme on a toujours dit, comme Gérard Depardieu,
Monster, a
un homme
wonderful
d'une telle
guy in the cinema who had such a reputation and so much power. Well, he was sentenced now for sexual violence.
Signification et conséquence.
That will inevitably be meaningful and have an impact. A sacred monster, that's, these are two words that bothered me. He's not a monster, he's a man
qui a été désacralisé
who lost his aura
par des faits qui ont été
owing to facts that occurred and were looked at by a court.
Une star de cinéma,
a star
in
the cinema is a man, a king is a man.
Pour moi, il y a pas de...
For me,
le sacré, il est au moment où il
what
se
is
passe quelque
sacred
chose.
is when something happens, when you create, when you act, when you are on stage. But we have no grasp of the sacred. And now he is no longer sacred, as is the case now. That means that you need to think hard about the power wielded by certain people who may take that power. And the power should lie elsewhere.
On a le temps pour
we have time
dernière
for
question.
one very last question.
Allons-y,
Let's go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello, Natasha Butler from Al Jazeera English. I'd like to come back to the question on this open letter that was signed by hundreds of people in the movie industry condemning the genocide in Gaza and also calling out the movie industry for not speaking out more. So my question is to you, Madam President Juliette Binoche, why you chose not to sign that letter, and also, do you believe that the movie industry does need to speak out more about the war?
You will maybe understand it a little later. So what is your specific question?
My question is, was there a reason you chose not to sign this letter? You're well known for speaking out about causes. You are well known for speaking out about a variety of causes that are close to your heart. Was there a reason for you not to sign this letter?
Yeah, you might
Would you
find out
share it
later.
with us? Would you share what the reasons behind it were?
I cannot answer you.
Ok, alors on va finir sur une dernière question.
Okay,
J'avais dit
we'll
c'était la
wind
dernière,
up
on va en
with
faire une
one
dernière. Il y a
very
un monsieur
last
qui attend depuis
question.
longtemps.
This gentleman has been waiting for a long time.
Allez-y, levez-vous.
Go ahead.
Levez-vous et criez la
Stand
question,
up,
c'est
please, and ask your question.
Ah, voilà le micro.
I'm André Guerra from Brazil, Diário de Pernambuco, and it's a pleasure to be here. I would like to ask Pael Caparia about what are your expectations on your next work, your next projects about after participating with this jury, and because last year you had one of the most praised movies of the year, and it's a beautiful film, and I would like to know about your next project. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Yes, our film coming here in Cannes and getting the recognition and all of you writing about it really helped us to get the film out, and that even the distribution in India was helped by that. So I'm really grateful that, because the one thing as a filmmaker is that the film should be watched by the people in your own country and everywhere else. So that was a really big bonus for me. And I am right now working on 2 more films based on my city, which is Mumbai. So to have like a trilogy, but with different characters. It's a city that is complex and full of contradiction. And there is a lot for me to explore still, and I need to get that out before I move on to anything else. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Madame la Présidente, merci beaucoup et très bon festival.
Thank you very much and enjoy the festival.